9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What's up, people? Welcome back. This is the Monday Night Raw post show in the second episode of the Netflix era. And I told you I'll take about 10, 15 minutes, but the councilman decided to join me and we had to get into the shits off the air because if you saw WWT Live earlier, there was a big discussion and I didn't get to opine on everything in regards to the Mercedes Moné debacle, but we're gonna save that for Wednesday because I want everybody present. A full roundhouse when we talk about that, because that's a fun conversation to have when you look at it from all different angles. But I know you guys are filling in the chat right now. I want to get your thoughts on this week's Monday Night Raw. Good show. I think in different areas of the world, you might have gotten more ads or less ads, or maybe superstar screensavers, or maybe you actually got to see all the action straight through. Me personally, I felt like I got 3-minute ads every 15 minutes. No lie. Maybe that's my Netflix account. Don't know, but I got a lot of ads. But all in all, I thought this was a polar opposite show of what we saw last week, which is last week was more of a spectacle and a showcase. This week was more so back to the road to WrestleMania, it felt like. And we opened the show with CM Punk. Big fan of showing the production trucks. Big fan of having superstars come into the arena like Austin or Rock back in the day. We saw CM Punk hit the ring. And not before long, he was interrupted by Seth Rollins, who had a nice little shiner from multiple go-to-sleeps last week. Nice storytelling there. And then before that, and you know what? It's January 13th, 2025. Seth Rollins might have my early casted vote for Hater of the Year. Because this man came out and said it would make him extremely happy to just take away CM Punk's joy. He said it was the worst match of his career, his worst loss. But he don't care about the L. He just care about causing that man pain. That's some real hate right there.
That's some hate.
So we might get Seth Rollins trying to cost CM Punk the Royal Rumble, but then we get infiltrated by Drew McIntyre, who says, hey, look at the pot calling the kettle black. You just like CM Punk, Seth, and your head's so far up your ass that you don't see it. And we thought all three of these guys were scrapped, but we got an announcement that all three men will be in the Royal Rumble and that Drew McIntyre and Seth will have their WrestleMania rematch next week. Now, question for you, Councilman, because the professor brought this up, I think, a week ago, that there is a underlying faction being built with Drew, Seth, and Kevin Owens. I don't see it. So what is this little trio of Seth, Punk, and Drew McIntyre really leading towards?
I just really think it's leading to the Royal Rumble in general. Like, I think it's just getting us set up for where we're at, like, because Drew mentioned like he's going after Roman, and the more I hear it, I'm just like, okay, if we're not doing Cody versus Roman 3, and if Roman Reigns is not set to win the Royal Rumble, because I'm seeing a lot of people that like saying that he may not win, and so if he doesn't, it's like, okay, we have our line there for Drew. Like, that's your WrestleMania match. Like, that's the one person he hasn't gotten a chance to just go after. And I know he wants the title, but maybe he can't settle for it. So we get us that match. But we already know, like, it's a race to the championship with Seth and CM Punk. So Seth could screw CM Punk and get his shot. And this is where CM Punk falls that favor into Paul Heyman and back in a title picture. I think it's just opening us up to more storylines that are leading towards WrestleMania through the Royal Rumble. But I don't see a faction happening between Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. I just think you're starting to see heels be heels even better now. And it even seems like it's just kind of swelling into, oh, it's going to be this bubble. It's like, no, it's just we're building something. And I think we're building something pretty dope.
So I feel like Seth doesn't realize that he's the heel here. And I think I think that's a good story that we're telling, is that he doesn't realize that everything is kind of his fault. And I think one day he'll get that realization. I do like what we're doing with McIntyre, just hell bent on taking down Roman in the bloodline. That would be lackluster for me, because I feel like before we got Tribal Chief Roman, we got a lot of McIntyre versus Roman Reigns for maybe a year, maybe more.
But we got him always losing. So he needs that
McIntyre, right?
Yeah. And McIntyre needs that redemption. But if you also think about it, it protects both of them from the title picture for us to not have such a repeat of WrestleMania and to give others in the championship ring a chance. So it's like we still need somebody dope for Gunther. We still need somebody for Seth Rollins. For Cody Rhodes. So it's like, okay, if we're gonna finally push this trigger on CM Punk, it's like, okay, cool. Punk versus Gunther, dope. Punk versus Cody, cool. But I think it protects Drew and the way they've been working Drew. Drew has found a nice little pocket of storytelling that doesn't require him to have a belt right now. Like he ride this out through 2025 as well, and then make the flip to say, okay, now I want gold.
One thing's for sure, and I think I can say this emphatically now that I experienced this with the councilman last week, and that is Dwayne has possibly royally fucked WrestleMania's plans up.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah! This turned upside down.
And maybe it's just because I can't see it being built yet, but without his inclusion, it feels like everything's all over the place. Now, there is a chance because I saw a very interesting theory on Twitter over the weekend that said, I think Roman set for Raw in Georgia on the 27th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And last week at NXT, The Rock said, hey, I'm 20 steps ahead of you. So the theory was this. It was January 7th. I'm 20 steps ahead of you. January 27th, Atlanta, Georgia. Roman set to appear on Monday Night Raw that night. Is that far-fetched? Or could we get something, what is that, the go-home show for the Royal Rumble or for Saturday Night Main Event?
That's Saturday Night Main Event week, right?
I believe so.
No, whoa, because it's not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Yes. Still.
So that's the 24th. So that's the 20. So that's the day after. No, that's after Saturday night's main event.
Oh, it's after. So that'd be the go home show for the Royal Rumble, if anything. Now he said, and you know what? People like to. I like this little like Marvel thing we do with the Rock's words. Everybody's like, oh wait, what does that mean? Let's analyze it.
Yeah.
January 7th, 20 steps ahead, 20 days later, January 27th. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not. And I think wasn't there a time where we thought he was supposed to be, because we thought he'd show up for Bad Blood. And he was actually in Atlanta at that time, but he didn't show up. So I can see it, but it's just one of those like, I kind of like that this happened because I think that where we're at with the WWE, we shouldn't have to rely on such that heavy name to make WrestleMania work.
Of course not.
Like I think you have enough storytelling and enough superstars there to make a dope two-nighter based off of what we have right now.
There's definitely some theories depending on who wins the Rumble as well.
Yeah,
but we know we're getting Drew versus Seth next week, WrestleMania rematch. Don't know how Punk will figure into all that, but they traded some sharp words, so I'm pretty sure these three will be entangled and have a lot of moments between now and inside the Rumble match. Next up, we got American Made came out. We got Chad Gable versus a mystery opponent, which was the worst kept secret, which was the debut of Penta. And boy, oh boy, San Jose was hot for Penta. They made the right call debuting him in San Jose versus LA. And them $75 masks gonna be sold out by the
like 49er remix mask they did for Penta. I was like, y'all mess with this dude.
This is the difference between the production in AEW versus production in WWE, because I don't think they were selling his mask on AEW shop.
And they barely were putting out merch for him. But it's like that's the luchador that looks like the whole package already. That's the one you can sell. That's the one you could promote. That's the one that gives the personality. And I think it was, I don't know whoever did it in the back, but shout out to you for making his first opponent Chad Gable, because oh my God, that was a bang of a match. And I love that they let it go long. Not
gave
no
him time.
squash match. Like they gave him real time. And that's what I kind of liked about a lot of the overall matches tonight was that they weren't like predictable. We got a good lengthy amount of matches tonight. And it was just like, yo, they really showing out. And that Penta Chad one, I'm like, man, listen, I wouldn't mind if y'all ran that back.
Right. That's going to be a good match. And I hope if they run it back, I hope it doesn't lead into like, hey, some LWO got my back type stuff. Like, let Penta be Penta, because what I've seen so far, the way the Mysterio brand, Mysterio mask sells, I feel like that's going to be identical. Because I think they tried that with Dragon Lee and didn't hit like it was supposed to with these Penta masks, where everybody knowing the Cerro Meadow, the symbol, the chant, like that's going to follow him. That's going to follow him so much. So I mean, great match. I think he only missed like the leg drop off the low rope. But I mean, those are things that'll get buttoned up as he gets more comfortable with this new batch of stars on Monday Night Raw. But even with the transfer portal, he might not be on Raw. He might be on SmackDown. You never know.
Because we did find out the Wyatt Six is now on SmackDown.
That don't make no damn sense.
That don't make no sense. I was like, this is where y'all could have got wild with stuff like this.
Yeah. You could have had with the flexibility you have between 2 to 3 hours or more. You could have had like little QR codes at the end. The broadcast get taken over. We're missing the boat here with that.
But not a fan of that. I guess SmackDown needed it though. SmackDown needed it. But I wouldn't.
I don't know who they're gonna feud with. I don't feud with Solo and Jacob and them because I don't know who else.
I guess LA Knight gonna be his first target since that was the last person that faced Bray. I don't know.
We're gonna waste our time with like them feuding with Legado del Fantasma for months. Like I don't get it.
They're gonna torture Carmelo Hayes the whole time. Like, what are we doing?
I can see that. That would be entertaining though. Carmelo
I actually wouldn't mind seeing them and Shinsuke kind of go at it with something. I could see some good distortion.
You know what?
There.
Braun Strowman.
Yep, you literally was reading my mind. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yo, that'd be dope to bring him back into the fold or have them go against him.
Because they're gonna probably bring that black sheep mask and you probably start seeing that at the end of his matches and he'd be like, no, I don't want to. One thing I'll bring this up before we go into Kaiser and Sheamus is Alexa Bliss tweeted out early in Monday Night Raw, should I bring back the pink hair or not?
And I will tell you that I don't like that I saw that while I was watching Raw because I got very excited for no reason. Because and we'll talk about that when I get to Rhea Ripley. Because I was like, for some reason, I thought she was coming out tonight. I'm like, this is it. I'm like, why am I thinking this? No, I just literally talked about this. Royal Rumble is the best time for her to come out.
Yeah.
Because somebody had wrote in the comments, they was like, yo, she in a hotel room. She here tonight. And I'm like, y'all doing too much. Then I saw the background with the little USB port. I'm like, oh, that is a hotel. I was like,
maybe you get a moment on Netflix.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. But just to circle back before we get to that, the Penta match, though, I would love to. I don't know if he'll do it. I don't want, like you said, I don't want to see him mix up in the LWO, but I think Penta versus Ray at WrestleMania for Ray's last match would be dope.
That would be clean because then you passing the torch to like a whole new era of like the best mask in the sport type of thing. There's a part of me that feels like Ray wants Dom to retire him, but it's like we have already seen Ray versus Dom so many times.
We don't need that's the wrong move just because of where he's moved into. Dom is like, I make fun of him of saying like he's the greatest luchador, but that's not his character. Like you need to go mask to mask, and Penta is that one. Like if there's anybody you finish off with him. Because even when he leaves, then we can get something between Penta and Dragon Lee. Because Dragon Lee gonna hate that he's not the one that got to wrestle Rey Mysterio at the end.
Yep. And then you give Penta the ultimate like rub on your way out.
Yep.
Ultimate rub. I think that works because they've been searching for that next Rey Mysterio star, and it seems like they finally found him, which is probably why they full court pressed the Lucha Bros to be like, hey, you need to come on over here.
You know what would be crazy too? If that's Ray's last match and Ray take his mask off in front of everybody and hand it to Penta.
Ooh.
Showing like, yo, he really just retired the Rey Mysterio. Like,
that'd be dope. That'd be a clean moment.
You don't need The Rock. This is why you don't need The Rock for a
moment. Hey, if any producers at WWE watch this, you do that, you cut the check.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cut the check.
Yeah, I know where y'all got that from. I know y'all got that from. But you said Sheamus and Ludwig.
Sheamus and Ludwig. Before that, we saw some like little Judgment Day shenanigans in the clubhouse. And kudos to you for calling that Dom probably going to be Liv's lackey for a few weeks now, carrying the bags, getting the food, getting the DoorDash, all that, just because he tried to get back Rhea last week. So it's going to be interesting seeing his arc. Liv did say her revenge tour was about more than just taking everything from Ripley. So I guess we still here. But Ludwig,
no. I think she showed that ended because of the way she put it. She was like, it wasn't about the championship. It was about I took everything from her. And I think you're showing like that's the closing of that.
Yeah.
That's at least what that's what I got as she was talking.
I think we might get a silent split where Liv shows up on SmackDown now, and that's how you like disperse whatever this Judgment Day storyline is. You get Dom still
not all three
around.
Yeah, I think you get her, Raquel, and Dominic to go over there.
Yeah, especially with how we close Raw tonight.
Yeah.
But now we got a number one contender for the Intercontinental title, Sheamus and Ludwig. I thought Ludwig would win this match. I was surprised that Sheamus did. But I mean, Ludwig looked good in the match still, nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm not because I feel like they want to push him to become a Grand Slam champion, and they know like Sheamus run. He ain't got a lot on that run left. He ain't got a lot on that run.
Because the Warriors ain't working out so much.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, yo, we know you're past midnight. You're past noon. We know it's kind of like Cena. If we being honest.
Yeah,
you're knocking towards that Cena train as well. I don't know how close you are to it as him, but it's like it's getting there. And so I think this is one of those that like, okay, let me try to achieve the things I haven't to etch in history. And like the Intercontinental title is the only thing keeping you from being a Grand Slam champion. And well, they already saying that he going up against it at main event. So I don't know if he gonna win or not, but I see why they're trying to do this. It's a more,
I don't know if that's a big enough platform either. I mean, if it happens, cool. And maybe you just put it back on Braun the same way Braun dropped to Jay and got it back. But I don't know.
I think it, so you know what? I think it is just because of the platform that it is on. Because it's on NBC, it could do great headlines.
So here we go here then. If Braun dropped that title at main event, he is my pick to win the Royal Rumble. And go against Gunther.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like we getting that lick right back.
And if not, they got to do an elimination chamber for the number one contendership, and he win the neck.
Yeah. Because I can't dismiss that moment that they had backstage maybe like a month or two ago when he's like, "Oh, you're gonna find out real soon." Like,
yeah, it's that. Especially if you got Jey Uso facing him at main event for the title, it's like, okay, yeah.
And now I think that was the next segment. Jay Gunther. Oh my God, people that don't enjoy Gunther's title run, he just tore Jay down with just very soft words. He didn't have to be aggressive at all. He talked to him in a library voice. Said, "Bro, you're not like that. Let's cut it out."
Cause bro, people be knocking him. I'm like, yo, y'all just mad because this dude is in his bag. It ain't got because it was like, you know what it is too? It's very hypocritical because of most people that don't say they don't like Gunther's reign or how he is now. Swear up and down they love CM Punk. And if you look at it, their attitudes are parallel. Both of them don't really come out with anything, no fireworks, no flashy gimmicks. Both of them work the ring just the same way. Both of them had that cocky ass attitude. So it's like, how do you not like Gunther, but you sit here and ride for CM Punk? Makes no sense.
That man got so close enough, he whispered in his ear, said, "Bro, let's be honest. You just a really nice tag team wrestler.
You a tag team wrestler at best. All right. Stay in if this is what you want, cool, but stay in your lane."
That's what did it for me. So hey, that's what you want. This is up to you, bro. It don't make me no never mind. We can do this. It's like, what?
I said, oh shit. I see why you feel some type of way, Jay. Damn. I'm like, that's what you want. I'm like, oh.
Jay came back with a good promo talking about like, yeah, I'm riding for mines every day. I wake every morning, proving it to myself. That's a good promo. But I still don't believe that Jay's about to win the title. I still don't.
It's just not. It's not there yet. That's the thing too. It's like you haven't been put in the like. Had this been a rivalry with the two of them, then that'd be different. But the fact that we're in the Gunther needs someone to face, it doesn't look great. But now I will say too, which is what makes the Rumble also dope. There is a lot of room that Jay could win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And if that's how you want to tell the story of main event Jey Uso, I think that would be awesome. But I think if you're going to do that, Roman got to get that title somewhere. You have Jey face Roman, and you tie it full circle from the past, from 3 years ago or whatever. I think that would be the perfect main event for one of those nights.
Yeah,
if they do it that way.
Yeah,
then because that's how he can really become main event Jey Uso, like legitimately, by beating the past main event of like the past 5-6 years.
Yeah,
I would love that. But Gunther, Jay, Saturday Night Main Event. I like that card's filling out now. Now we have our inaugural women's intercontinental title match, which was between Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai. A lot of Dakota Kai fans think she was flexing some new entrance music. A lot of fans doing the little woo chant with Lyra, which surprised me too.
She getting it up there. More people doing it now. I was like, okay.
She was on her throwback Finn Balor tip a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
The audience involved. I thought it was a good match. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the ending. Felt very flat to me because I felt like Dakota at least should have had the opportunity to kick out of Lyra's finisher.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't like. I felt like with everything. So as I said, I like how a lot of matches were stretched out. I will say this was the one that did feel kind of short. Because of like what you just said, we only got to see one finisher from each of them, and it's like this the inaugural championship. Like, yo, you got like if Chelsea Green got to hit hers twice, like let's see them two really go at it. But I gave my prediction earlier today on WWT Live, and I was going through my feelings and not logic and stuff, and sticking with my tag team partner. And I should have stuck with my gut because I was like, it got to be Lyra, just because of the fact that Dakota's great, but because you're injury prone, it's such a gamble. It's such a gamble to make you champion, especially on our road to WrestleMania, because we know all of these titles are going to be on the line at WrestleMania.
Yep. And that, like Bose is saying right now, like, I think what you're doing with the Intercontinental title is the same thing you did with the Women's North American. You need somebody to put on some nice matches in the interim before you add like a different presence and character with that title, like right now with Fallon. Yeah. Same thing, like Lyra, you can make the argument that she needs a belt to be relevant on the main roster.
No,
her character isn't like overwhelming you with anything. And I hate to make the comparison to Natty, but it's kind of similar. Where it's like, hey, we do some great work in the ring, but we're consistent, but the character isn't drawing you to the personality. Now, I think she'll get the entrance over and stuff like that. She's a great wrestler. People just love Dakota Kai. And that's what sucks.
Yeah.
I think people love Dakota Kai in ring, her personality outside the ring, her journey. And they're like, hey, we really want to see Dakota Kai be champion. So it sucks that she had to lose. It was admirable because she had her beat and then she rolled out the ring. So I got to believe that now they tell the story like they're doing with Mia Yim and Chelsea, where it's like, hey, like I can beat you and I'm not going to stop until I beat you. But since Chelsea is kind of like the overwhelming character in the mid-card division, you need somebody else to just going to do the work. And that's
Chelsea's going to make it look good on scene. But yeah, like you said, she's going to treat it just like the men's intercontinental title. It's going to be the workhorse championship. And that's what she's going to need. And I would even say one thing for her character that she needs to start looking into is even kind of dip a little further into the Finn Balor thing. I say if you're basing this off of the Scottish, I hope it's Scottish. If not, I do apologize. But like the Scottish gods that you're going off of, the Raven, like, yo, bring that character out. Like, give me where you start giving me some of the like stuff from the eyes and stuff, the little eye color with the wings. So like when you come out, you look like it's like, yo, is that Lyra? Is that god that she was talking about? Like,
and Michael Cole defined it on the commentary, and that helped me out. It's like, oh, that's dope. So she's inspired by the Raven. Even if you wanted to have a PLE or something where you're defending, and it's like you dressed up like Raven from Teen Titans. Let's mix it up here, you know?
Yeah. Like, give us something like that. Like, if you can give us that to where it's like, yo, I fully submerged this to be able to have this, that's where your character can come in. And you could just give us a great show. Because like you said, like, it's just besides that, it's back to charisma and in-ring working. Right now, she got Bret Hart syndrome, unfortunately.
Yep. So our next match, we got some backstage stuff, and this is how we found out that the Wyatt Six are now on SmackDown, because Karen Cross was talking to Adam Pearson, found out, and he was like, "Oh, I know you didn't do this, Miz," because I guess Karen Cross still in the process of getting his lick back. So I think two things happened. They dissed Sami Zayn, much to your happiness, I'm sure, because they said Sami Zayn can't be around no world titles, and Miz has had it twice. So we got a match with Sami Zayn and the Miz. The Wyatt Six are now on SmackDown, and I think that was the official separation of the Final Testament and the Miz.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think they accomplished all those things right there. Mm-hmm. So Mr. Sammy's side mission is taking on the Miz, and Sammy had an interesting segment with Seth Rollins backstage too, where he was trying to be there for Seth, where he said, "Hey, I'm here if you want to talk." I know it was a bad loss, and Seth pretty much just admonished him for constantly helping Roman Reigns. Like, say, "Hey, you gonna help him in the Royal Rumble too? You got him a little follow back. You can get him the title back too. When are you gonna start helping yourself?"
Yeah,
and I'm gonna hang on to that, because I wonder what that's gonna mean for Sammy.
And I hope it means what I've been wanting Mick Foley Jr. to do. It's like, bro, you're not the underdog. You're not the lackey anymore. Like, start acting like it. Like, just kind of like what he did with The Miz. It's like, oh, you talking shit. Oh, okay, bet. You know what? I'm going to talk to Adam about what I talked a little about that later. But I'm going to talk to him about squaring up with you and me in the ring. And hold that. Like, yo, like, keep that energy with everybody. Like, yo, who you talking to? Yeah. If you want to keep talking like that, yo, we can step in this ring, and then hold that attitude while you in the ring performing. Like, show them like you that dude. And that's what I hope we start seeing, a more aggressive side of Sami Zayn like that. It's like, yo, bro, don't let people slap you around like Gunther was, and then you start getting mad. Like, yo, they slap you once, you smack them the fuck back. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe you could do that, Sammy. But this whole underdog thing that you keep doing, that shit is starting to get, not starting, but is stale, and you need something new.
I'm gonna start campaigning right now. WrestleMania weekend, Stand and Deliver, Sammy versus Oba. Give it to me.
I'll take that.
Give it to me.
Shit.
And if that's how we get Oba to the main roster with a brief stint for Sammy give it to me. Former NXT champion, give it to me.
I said, if not that, give us some more TNA runs. Give me Oba versus Moose at Stand and Deliver. I was like, just so we rank, just so we still strengthening that TNA shit. I can see that, because I said it on NXT. There's no man on that roster outside of Oba that is headline Stand and Deliver worthy right now.
Yeah, none.
None of them. None of them.
Unless I was gonna say, unless we want to make Wesley normal again, but I think he has like a faction going on. Mm-hmm. Like he's helping the younger athletes.
Yeah, because that's where you suit it, because we're not ready to see him be champion because Oba came in. Yeah. And so it's like, and you're not going to get Javon Evans ready by Stand and Deliver. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Nope. So if you do a TNA crossover, I mean, if it's not going to be like a Moose, I can see a Nick Nemeth. I can see that.
Especially if he dropped the title to Joe Hendry on Genesis on the 19th.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That'd be fun. People get to see Dolph Ziggler again.
And I feel like he'd go to that one before. Well, I can even see him at the Royal Rumble too. But
yeah, I could too.
But would he go as Nick Nemeth or Dolph Ziggler though?
If he went as Nick Nemeth, that means if he ever comes back, he has like the property of his name and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
I think that'd be dope to see.
Yep. So next thing, I forgot to say, Sammy won that match. Helluva kicked and Blue Thunderbomb. Pin Miz and Blue Thunderbomb. I think they emphasized that, so maybe that's a sign of things to see with Sammy having multiple ways to finish a match. Mm-hmm. Next up, we saw a shot of Rhea Ripley coming through the parking lot. She wanted to come out and say what was next. She had some bars about being back on top, and that she's just the dominant champion, which was met by, my surprise, Nia Jax, who said, "Hey, I was just talking to Adam Pearce about the portal. Nothing was finalized. Nia Jax just wanted to shut Rhea up. And if you remember, I think it was at Elimination Chamber last year in Australia, Nia's whooping Rhea's ass. So if that happens, that's a good pivot from Liv to go into having to face Nia. But Nia came out and said she's entering the Royal Rumble and said she's going to challenge for whatever title that she wants. Then dissed Bayley, who was ringside, is Bayley's hometown in the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. They double teamed Nia eventually after some trades back and forth. But I feel like we didn't really get much clarity on what's next for Rhea outside of like, hey, that people are kind of gunning for a championship.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that segment. I was not feeling that segment because I feel like it was a slap to the face of the women's division on Raw. Because why do you have 2 SmackDown stars here? I get you teasing the portal and stuff like that, but it's like, as many women that are there, like, why would you not pull the trigger on Io and Ripley at the Royal Rumble? Like
Io, I would have took one of Pure Fusion Collection, if not all 3 come out to surround Rhea. Like,
real shit. I would have loved to have seen Shayna Baszler and Rhea at Saturday Night Main Event for the time.
Like, you got the talent there.
You got the talent there. Like, why do you have 2 SmackDown stars come and talk to Rhea? It's just like, you can tell y'all didn't really know what to do and where to place her now. And that's why I said was going to be an issue making her champion again. And y'all just proved that by this week on Raw, because you don't have anyone to deliver on the Raw roster. Why? Because you've made this woman unbeatable.
And it didn't have to, like, you didn't have to have, you want to separate Liv and Rhea. Obviously, this is why I feel like Liv is going to end up going to SmackDown. You could have had Raquel come out.
Raquel could have,
their history.
Raquel could have definitely came out and wanted to chat. I would not have minded seeing that at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, you got to do something.
You got to do something. But having 2 SmackDown stars come out is just like, okay, I get it, but it's just like, what are we doing? And it's letting me know y'all don't have nothing really planned for your women's world championship. And it's just like, okay, it still begs that question of what I said was it right for y'all to take it off of Liv?
Exactly. And I mean, if Nia does make the jump, I think that's a good pivot. We don't know yet, but I mean, I think what they telegraphed there is that whoever wins the Women's Royal Rumble is definitely gunning for Rhea.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
We're going to give Tiffany a little breather. She's going to take on Bayley, and I think she might take on maybe Liv after that, or who knows. I would want I want to see what Charlotte did some years ago. I want to see the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble go for Julia, and then you get Julia on the WrestleMania stage early.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I actually would love to see that for the men too, because since we ain't got nothing for them and stand and deliver, let Oba take some, man. But I know they're not gonna pull that. I know they're not. They're not ready.
They're teasing the whole like, hey, the final boss was chatting up with Oba type thing, but they won't do that.
And he was on Raw too. I'm like, hey, listen,
yeah.
If there's anybody
they about to make
that's
Oba
ready to take down the grandest stage of them all, it's the Ruler. But I'm like, y'all not ready to let that man main event that. Y'all not ready.
If you would, do you know how much viewership you can do if you can give like a Oba and Gunther like stare down at some point? 2 men and have only lost respectively once or twice in the past year.
Yeah. And just that's why I said this Royal Rumble is going to be incredible, to the point where, like we said, you don't need to bring in no like special moment folks and stuff like that. Like, this whole roster should be in the Rumble.
It's capable.
Yeah.
Overly capable.
New Day returning next week. Like, they gotta be in the Rumble, because now I gotta see what's the heel version of Kofi getting eliminated.
The heel version of him trying to stay afloat to see if somebody just going like kibosh it or whatever. Like, yep, that's there. And this will be their first time working a match since the Big E stuff, because I think they've been trying to do it, and maybe last week there were time constraints and like, hey, let's just do it on this date. So I guess whatever. Hey, like Rey Mysterio go find a tag team partner. I think that's going to be next week. And then main event time. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying in Madison Square Garden, I think too. So that's also dope.
Well, Madison Square, they said March 10th.
Oh, well, then that's Dallas. No, they're in Dallas next week then.
Yeah, they're in Dallas. I think we're the think they say where the Mavericks play.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good event next week. I think we tied another loose end here, and we're finally done with Finn and Damian Priest. Street fight, which I'd say it went for just kind of around 30 or just under 30.
Yeah,
started about like 703, 705. Good match. I thought they used the whole arena the way they're supposed to. They put the commercial breaks where they're supposed to put them. You had the what is it? The Falcon Arrow to the table spot, which gave us a breather. Then Judgment Day gets involved. You had a Razor's Edge to the table. You had a coup de grace through a table. You had Finn seemingly get stretchered out, and you had some brutality there where Priest like, hey, nah, your neck ain't that bad, bro. Come get back in this ring. Yeah. Good moments. I thought this equaled last week's main event, if anything, as far as like excitement. And then it seems like we got a finale when Priest says, hey, I'm not my brother's keeper. And then you get the South of Heaven, you get the 3. Which is funny to me, because what movie is that? Is that
New Jack City?
Yeah, it's New Jack City. Okay, yeah.
Oh, my brother's keeper.
No. Some of y'all might not get that reference, but that's what that was.
Man, all of that was great. No, it was a phenomenal match. But put a fork in Finn because he's done. Like, this was the official cook of Finn Balor. Like, bro, like, what are we doing now? At this point, what are we doing? Like, yo, like, where are we? Like, are you about to start just covering yourself in paint and be the new Stardust? Like, is that what's next for you, Finn?
What is it? Is it the joggers?
No, it's just bro. Like, why do you keep losing? You're losing every day. Like, yo, can you tell me the last time Finn won a one-on-one match?
Maybe not clean. I feel like he does have a win over Damian. Maybe not clean though. That helped.
I can't even remember one. And it's just like, bro, like you were this force that came into WWE, and you kind of like in the same. I can't even say you're in the same boat as Sami Zayn, because it's just like, yo, I don't get what's being done with you. Like, it was this look like you're finna take over the Judgment Day. Then it's like, now you're not taking over the Judgment Day. Oh, I'm about to have this new killer instinct as Finn Balor. And I'm starting to see the moves in the ring, but they don't lead up to victories. So now you just kind of look like one of those punks, or you just look like Mojo Jojo against the Powerpuff Girls.
Wow. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. I'm like, dog, this is horrible. So it's just like, yo, I hope this is done. And Finn Balor gets some type of redemption at Royal Rumble where we're just seeing like this new Finn. Because as of right now, it's like, bro, you might as well drop to mid card and start taking on Chad Gable.
Could Finn benefit from the portal if the Judgment Day went completely to SmackDown? Like, let's say we swap factions and Judgment Day went to SmackDown and Solo's Bloodline came to Raw.
Honestly, I don't even think you should switch factions. I think Judgment Day should be officially done. I think let all of that go, to be honest. I think Finn with a fresh start on SmackDown would do well. I think him having matches with Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura, Solo Sikoa, like finally getting something with Cody and everything like that. You kind of got like Bullet Club member versus Bullet Club member. Like, I think there's a lot that he could do if he had a fresh start.
Where does that leave people like, I think McDonough would be fine if we just go back into his NXT character, but what does that leave people like Carlito? Is Carlito still hanging around Dom, Liv, and Raquel then?
I mean, like, Carlito know they got like a Legends deal, right? That he can go ahead and sign and do what he needs to do. Like, I liked it, but are we really like tuning in to Monday Night Raw to get a glimpse of Carlito?
Nah. I think there was bigger plans for him when we first saw him at Backlash in Puerto Rico, and it just didn't pan out that way.
No, because it's just like, again, it's we know you, but this new crowd don't know you like that. You got the pop because we know you, and they moved you here. We did great. That's it. and you don't have the stability to hold yourself like an R-Truth. So it's like unless you move into a different role, like becoming Adam Pearce assistant or something, or like Nick Aldis's like second GM. But outside of that, it's just like, I mean, no offense to him, but it's like the wrestling is a little stiff, but we get it. You're a little bit older, a little bit bulkier. You don't move the way you used to move. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like at this point, you're taking up TV time. And I think once that's done, so is he. And like you said, McDonough will be fine. Like McDonough got a mid card he can go to and do wonders. I think him going to SmackDown would also help.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'd leave him on Raw because I'd love to see him go up against Ludwig. I think they would have some great matches. I like him on Raw because especially when Dragunov come back, I'd love to see a match between the two of them.
Yep. And Braun's there too. I think they've had some NXT matches. I think that you just got that right away. Where does Damian Priest go from here now? I think he'll obviously be a Royal Rumble entry. Yeah, I think it's I want to disrespect him by saying maybe jumping down to the Intercontinental title. See, now that's the more difficult one right there because he's supposed to be right there in that same tier, eye to eye with Gunther. Yeah, but we didn't ran him back with Gunther too many times. And we can't have him lose 3 in a row with Gunther. Well, you know what? No, you know what? I think we may get one more match with him. Because of the fact it got turned into a triple threat match when they face each other, I think we will get one more, but I don't think it's going to be at WrestleMania. I don't think it's Chamber. Yeah, so he just kind of really got to make it through WrestleMania and get on the card. So I know he'll have a Royal Rumble spot. Most likely will maybe do, like you said, Elimination Chamber at the Royal Rumble. Because I don't think Gunther will defend at the Royal Rumble since he's doing Saturday Night Main Event. I don't think they'll have him do back-to-back. That's really it. He just got to make it through WrestleMania and then get a nice little reset. Okay. Yeah, I think they have already made sure that Priest is probably going to be one of their top stars in the Raw brand. So I don't see him switching brands. So they have some time to figure it out. Yeah, but that was how we ended Monday Night Raw, y'all, with Damian Priest standing tall, pretty much ridding himself for the Judgment Day, just like Rhea Ripley ridded herself for the Judgment Day and gained her title back last week. Now, not so fast, Dylan. Boza says, what if Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble? I don't think that's that far-fetched. Just because of what Seth Rollins said, when are you going to start doing stuff for yourself? Who's the champion right now? Gunther. He defeated Gunther at last WrestleMania for the IC title. The storyline's right there. Now, I know he already tried to challenge Gunther for the title once and lost. This is how you get him back into the picture. I don't think it's that far-fetched for him to be like, hey, I win the Royal Rumble and I'm coming straight for Gunther. I know I can beat you. No, you can't because I beat you already. It's already right there. So you saying that one. If we're going with the logic of him going to win the Royal Rumble, I think you have a better story if he went after Cody. Ooh. I think you have a fantastic story there if he decides to choose Cody. And what he can hold on to is not making the decision. They could ride that through like at least till Elimination Chamber. You know what's interesting about your theory? You remember when they won the tag team titles here in LA and Kevin and Kevin and Sammy, they were doing like Good Day America. And it was like, yeah, like we don't look like the interview guys and blah, blah, blah. We're not all clean cut and stuff like that. If he's saying like, I'm the antithesis to what you are, like you wear suits and stuff like that. Hey, I wear flannels and I don't trim my beard. Like I'm everything you're not, but I can represent this company too. I'm the common man in this. You're the new Daniel Bryan. And I think that if he wants to move anything, that's what has to happen for him. You just said something. I'm the common man. I'm more like your dad than you are. Yep. That's why I say if we're really gonna go down him winning the Rumble, Cody is the better choice for him to pick.
And then that also gives us back. So now, and again, if we're down this road, do you know how epic it's going to be when it's Kevin Owens versus Sammy for the title? That's when you really reignite that rivalry.
That, or if it's like Roman trying to get that title back from Sammy, from when Sammy tried to face Roman.
I ain't even get there yet. I ain't even get to that. And see, this is what makes him have a legitimate WWE championship run. The Cody run, then the Kevin's run, then the Roman run. Like you have a lot set up for you to be able to do.
Yeah.
That's
I don't got to be honorary Uso no more, official Uso. Like, I can be the face of this company too.
Yo, that
yeah. Ooh, that's nice.
I'm not mad at it. As much as I make fun of him, I'm like, if that can get him to change that attitude a little bit, we would be on to something. We would definitely be on to something.
Yep. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We got a couple more weeks to Saturday night main event where we got a couple good matches. We got Gunther Jey Uso, I believe Braun Breaker, Sheamus. We got the New Day next week. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre on next week's Monday Night Raw. JBL is going to make an appearance, who I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the Rumble. He's been doing all these different indie dates and TNA appearances, clotheslining the hell out of people. I wouldn't be surprised. So we're back on track.
Yeah.
Last week's Monday Night Raw, first episode Netflix, was very interesting, more of a spectacle, more of a feast your eyes. But now it seems like we're back on track with the storylines on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's kind of free for all over there too. You know, we didn't even end at 3 hours. We ended at 2.5. So it's like, okay, hey, you know, at first I was kind of like scratching my head about it, but also too, it's like, I think this is dope because you never know what to expect. Like, and it keeps you kind of on your toes to go like, hey, okay, I need to watch all of this then, because this Monday we had 2.5 hours. Next week it might be 3.5, and it's like, yo, what the fuck happened the last hour that I missed?
And then, like I said, the 27th with Roman Reigns appearing on that show is that the show where I know Solo supposed to come back on Friday this week. I don't know if that's gonna be like the hey, I acknowledge you as my tribal chief show. Like I don't know.
I really hope they let all that go. I hope it really is just like you got your Ulafala back. Let's move on. Be done with that. Be done with that story. Let them run rough shop on SmackDown like we've been seeing them doing. Because the way they're making it sound like Roman is going to be more focused on Raw for these next road to WrestleMania.
Right.
So
we got a whole story to tell with him.
Yeah. So we gonna see. We gonna see.
You're going to see. Well, next time you'll catch us, obviously, WWT Live on Wednesday. And then, of course, your Tuesday night Pharaoh watch along for NXT. Where
we may have to hold on that one because we still trying to figure out because my services where I watched it went down. So we gotta figure out how to find to watch this live. But
okay. I might have a feed for you that I can share.
Okay.
I'll share that with you off the air because it ain't legal. But we'll get back to you on that. We'll probably announce it, stuff like that. Of course, you'll get some we'll see our new champions, Julia Obafemi, and our new number one contender, Lola Vice. Yep. Which I know Bose has been in the chat shouting out that she won a number one contendership women's Royal Rumble out in Florida over the weekend. So
I'm so glad that happened because I was going to talk about that where her first title defense needs to be against Lola.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was glad she didn't win that's what made me think about when she didn't win the number one contendership for the women's North American title. I was like, yo, they gonna have her face Julia first. I see it happen.
Hey, you know what's gonna happen? Jade is gonna cost Lola the match.
I hope so, bro. Oh, I hope so.
And that's how we get round 3.
Oh, I hope so, because we ain't seen Jade on TV either. Yep. I hope she do it. Oh, I hope she costs her. You remember me, bitch?
Yep. That's how we get round 3. I don't know what round 3 gonna look like, but that's how we get round 3.
Hey, I was talking about this on my kayfabe thing. We definitely gotta get you on that show.
For sure.
I think if you do it, you gotta go Austin Triple H at No Way Out, 3 stages of hell.
Ooh.
Between Lola and Jada. 3 stages of hell. One gotta be a submission match.
Yep.
and then the other one could be a last woman standing match, and then the first one could be a street fight or something else. They did. I think they did an Extreme Rules match. They didn't do a street fight. I think if you really want to turn it up with them 3 stages of hell, or I don't know if they've done it before. Have they done a steel cage or Hell in a Cell?
No.
So they may do that before they do 3 stages of hell.
Yeah, they might lock them in with each other. Yeah, but I like the throwback stuff. Maybe Hickenbottom does have that up his sleeve where he does a 3 stages of hell. That'd be fun. And Boza, you saying you'll laugh if Lola beat Julia, you will never see Sindel on this broadcast again. I guarantee you. I will make 2025 unbearable for her if Lola beats Julia. Oh yeah,
it's yo. When I tell you, this man is about to be more obnoxious than y'all have ever seen. And he gonna have all the right to.
I have all the ammo. If Lola beats that woman after the 2024 I had with Sindel, listen. I know it ain't gonna happen. It's too early. Julia just got the title, but let's storybook it down the road. If that happens, listen.
If we 1, 2, 3, if we get 1, 2, 3. But also too though, I don't want to wish that on that. I don't want her to have a short run and they move up to the main roster. I like having them where they're at, but
yeah, too soon.
Yeah,
too soon unless you trade in somebody down, which I don't know who would.
I mean, look, I'm still promoting Alexa Bliss to go to NXT. Like, I think that'd be very smart for her to go do. And then that's the only like championship she never got was NXT.
My thing is, I think they should rip the Band-Aid off, honestly, with the Women's Royal Rumble. I think you should have a face-off with Alexa and Roxanne in the Rumble. Mm-hmm. I think Roxanne should be bottom 4, but I'm not opposed to Roxanne winning the Rumble because she can hang on to that with her character, be like, hey, it's my first time out in the main roster. I'm already in contention for the title.
I'm the prodigy. What make you think I ain't ready for this?
Yeah.
Like I think so too. Like because I don't see no one else who has a big enough set for that. But also too, I see because I don't really have a clear picture of like which woman needs to win the Royal Rumble, but I could see like some that could take it and they make sense. Like I could see Io Sky winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I can see.
And if you want to go that route,
yeah,
that's why I think it has to be somebody. I think with the reset with Rhea and Tiffany, it got to be somebody new. Like
yeah, it got to be.
If Rox, you can go straight Rox Tiffany. If it's Jordan Grace, you go Jordan Grace Rhea. And you give me something that I haven't seen yet. Like,
yo, that's what you need right here. That's what you need here. But also, too, you know what though? Because I know it's not gonna happen, but I want it to happen. Because I can still see Roxanne's ticket getting punched and AJ Lee coming out in the Royal Rumble and that being the face-off.
Yeah, I could. That would be dope if they want to do it that way. Because I mean, people have been begging for it. Like I can see that being a face-off in the Rumble because that would, and I'm pretty sure from her as a fan standpoint, she would love the hell out of that.
Oh yeah. But
you're right. AJ Lee came back for me in the Rumble,
and then if I can get her at WrestleMania, oh boy, that'll be fire. But I agree with you. We need somebody new. We need someone new to win. It needs to be a fresh face. It don't need to be a returning Becky Lynch. It don't need to be a returning Charlotte. It would work, but it's not enough. I feel like it wouldn't be enough pop at the end. I can see Alexa Bliss running the Royal Rumble. I just don't feel like it's enough pop for it at the end.
Unless this is just the fan in me. Unless it's Trish. If you get Trish to return and Trish wins, I think Trish and Mommy had like a backstage moment or something like that in the past. I think that would be huge.
So did Tiffany too, though. She disrespected the shit out of Tish. I could see Trish versus Tiffany as well.
That would be dope.
That'd be whoo. See, now we're getting some. See, this is probably gonna be the best Royal Rumble we've had in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Like these two are about like I just hope they don't fuck it up.
Last year's was wildly predictable, but I mean,
yeah,
I think with the reset, you have some options to really do something special.
Yeah. And I think you should, because oh my goodness, bro. It's so many opportunities for the men's and the women's. It's just like, please play it right. Please play this shit right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be predictable with it. Please let somebody that we fuck with win.
Yeah.
But I know this. I know one thing. If Natalya win the Royal Rumble, I will stop watching wrestling altogether.
I'm making you Natalya. Natalya was backstage talking to Alpha Academy. We don't need her in that faction. We don't need her mentoring Maxine Dupree. Don't do that. Please don't.
No.
If anything, you go to NXT, you challenge for the women's North American title or something like that against Fallon. That's cool. You know, I'm good with that.
If the boat win the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna stop watching wrestling. I'm telling you, I will become a Star Wars fan immediately. I'm talking about diving into all the lore. Man. If Natalya wins the Royal Rumble, I don't know what the fuck I don't know who was high when that happened, but don't do this to us.
Mm-mm.
Don't do this to us.
Can't do that. And Charlotte can be a surprise, but not a winner. We've seen it before.
No.
To be a winner.
Charlotte got enough clout to just walk up and ask for a title shot, and we gonna always.
And that's a problem. It's such a problem. I've always hated that.
Yeah, hated that. You could be upset about it, but also the thing is, it ain't like she don't put on a great show.
I feel like I know everything Charlotte's going to do in the ring, every Charlotte match, and I think that's what. And I'm talking about with every competitor. There's nothing that she breaks out differently based on her opponent, which makes me like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think it would be a nice surprise considering the injury and stuff like that. But it would be more meaningful to me if she elevated those women in the mid-card scene for those belts she hasn't held yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think she should win the Rumble. I think she should come back and see what the landscape and the scope of it is. And honestly, once again, I would not mind seeing Charlotte do an NXT run.
Yeah.
Not champion-wise, just there. And it's like, yo, they say this is the best women's division? Well, your queen has returned. Like,
yeah.
With all of them there, her versus Zarya?
And then you talk about like the lighter schedule while she's still getting back into ring shape and working out the rust on the legs and the knees like that. That makes a lot of sense from building viewership on the CW and taking your time to where you can be the workhorse that you are.
Yeah, because right now, Raw and SmackDown doesn't need you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it's like we need to allow these other superstars to run. But like for this one, like being in NXT, there's so many opportunities to do things you haven't done that it'll set a precedence there. Like her versus Jordan Grace, just a matchup between the two of them. Yeah. That's selling. And that's just elevating NXT even more, and especially in the women's division, y'all care about her versus Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
You printing money with it. You printing money. But yeah, we almost an hour in this thing. I know Councilman got things to do. Like we said, we're going to get back to you about Tuesday Night Pharaoh and we'll see if these other alternative methods of watching work. But we'll be back on WG Live on Wednesday. Appreciate y'all rocking me for the watch along and for the post show. Councilman, let the people know where they can support you.
You can find me at Everything Big Back on social media, Twitch and YouTube. I'm not joking. That's actually a handle now. I really made an account called Everything Big Back. Expand your back. Start following it on Instagram. I was really surprised nobody had it because I'm so serious. Like, it's a real channel. It is a real channel. Follow it.
Okay. Follow that, y'all. Follow that. Of course, you can see me here Mondays for the watch along, on Wednesdays and Fridays for WWT Live. You can also find me at Hoes Are the New Entrepreneurs, and you should know that. And make sure you follow all of our
the original entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I guess so. But this has been the Monday Nightmare, y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with me on the number one women's wrestling network on the planet, Women's Wrestling Talk.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.